Welcome to Empowered by AI, the podcast for women entrepreneurs ready to harness AI to take their businesses to the next level. I'm your host, Michelle Muncie Silva, founder of Innovative AI Studios. You may have left corporate life to start this entrepreneurial journey, but you don't have to go it alone. Here, you'll find a supportive community of like-minded women and an invaluable thought partner each week, as my guests and I share actionable insights you can use right away. So let's dive in together.
Good morning. Hi. Okay, so in the last 7 minutes, I got pizza, kombucha, my face on. So we're together, but barely.
I'm very impressed.
Okay.
I'm very impressed.
I sat down on the couch and time warp happened. Just a complete time.
I'm telling you. Cannot think of a better way to wrap up 1 year of a podcast than to say, y'all need to get over to create.
The thing that's so heartfelt is how many women mention feeling unsure, before they decided to go, feeling intimidated.
Yep.
And having that change so quickly.
Yes.
Very fast.
And that has been the thing that has been so interesting to me, from me recognizing at the very beginning of this whole podcast journey thing, with wondering, wait a minute, this moment is huge. There's only like 30 people in this room. I think we could amplify this, to Vanessa at Create saying this was the very first time she had ever presented. And me just being like, what? How is this the first time you've ever presented? You are presenting things that should have white papers. There should be research that is being studied. It's just like, what? So it's just over and over and over again, women saying that, yeah, this was just going to fly under the radar. And it was really cool. And I just wanted to share it. And me thinking, we need to explode that. And I don't know if that's we're used to just giving and giving and giving and it not being a big deal. But when I'm hearing what people are giving, I'm like, wait a minute, that's a big deal. That's like, not everybody's talking about that. Not everybody's doing what you're doing. This is a big deal. So I think that it's just, that's just fulfilling, to say the least, that it's like, I'm going to be part of what makes you out there in the world. I'm a happy camper.
And I think about that in terms of the work itself. And I also think about that in terms of how we made some good choices about our branding. Because if we felt, looked, seemed, sounded anything more like official, corporate, businessy, these women would not go near us.
Well, I think too, it's like, do you know how many people have been emailing me, almost, I would say, to spam proportions of, hey, I've got this guy. He's this amazing guy. You need to interview this guy. And I'm like, have you listened to the show? And they're like, oh no, I saw your interview. I heard your interview. And they'll name the person. I heard what you and Caroline were talking about. I heard what you and Lexi were talking about. I heard you and Jennifer. And I'm thinking, okay. And in that entire conversation, did you hear that there were more men that needed to be amplified? Did you hear that? Was that the message that you got? Because it's like, I only interview, and I need to just get like an auto responder, only interviewing women. And they will, so I have been not ignoring the emails. That's how I started.
Right.
I'm not ignoring those emails. I'm responding to them and I'm saying, thank you so much. I only interview women. If you happen to know a woman, please do let me know. I
Right.
would be happy to find out from her if this is a fit. And inevitably, they will respond with just following up to see if you're interested in John.
Yeah.
Jesus, Lord, and Mary. No, I don't want John. I want Mary.
Yeah. Yep.
Come
Yeah.
on. So I wonder if it's almost like a default way of being to
Yeah.
connect back to where you were with. And she leads and empowered by and AI ready to, it's like there is a non-default there,
Mm.
right? This is the non-default. This is the authentic. This is the purposeful. This is the intentionality that we need to put within AI. Because if we don't, it's going to default to the transactional, to the Brodafins. It's gonna slip into that because it wants to go there anyway,
It
right?
wants
An
to go
object in
there
motion stays
anyway.
in motion, right?
Yep.
And it takes effort to create an about face.
So, along those lines, I've been thinking about how, like, no surprise, the business about OpenAI and the adult age gated content and erotica, etc. And it would be very easy for us to default to there's nothing we can do. This shit is just on a train, it's going one direction. What we do is, not ever going to be enough. But then, boots on the ground, in our real everyday life stuff, clients, community, family, our own work with AI, it's exactly the opposite. It's like we've created what works for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I teach my clients what works in the world that I want to live in. I don't know. Have you thought about that at all?
I was just reading an article this morning where someone was talking about this idea of break the glass and then worry about the consequences. And that's really what Sora 2, for example, is
Mm-hmm.
doing. It's like Robin Williams' daughter saying, you are absolutely bastardizing what my father meant to me. Please stop.
Yes.
And it literally reminded me of Victor Frankenstein. And it's like, I've made the monster. And because I want to see what happens almost, is the Sam Altman way of being. Let's, walk away and see what happens. And then we'll make some emergency
Right.
pullbacks as needed. And that's the thing. It's like the monster's already killed. It's like now you're going to regret that you did it. It's like, hang on a second. Did you think about the families of the people that can be replicated? Now, I'll take the devil's advocate and I'll say, you know what? I love the fact that small business owners can make their own commercials now.
Yep.
I'll toot that horn the live long day.
Mm-hmm.
But did we have to release all of these? You can make a likeness of Michael Jackson stealing chicken. What is that? Literally had a guy on the airplane talking to me about this because oh my God, have you seen this? As I'm flying to the Create conference, he's like, have you seen what you can do with this? And he shows me the Michael Jackson clip. And I'm like, oh my God.
Was he impressed by it or was he freaked out by it?
He thought it was funny.
Yeah.
White guy thought it was funny. And I'm just looking at that and I'm like, really, dude?
Yeah.
Really? Do you not? And then he proceeded to show me a Bernese mountain dog running on a football field. So it was just, they were all the same to him.
Yes.
They were all the same to him. And I'm looking at that going, no, those are two very different issues
Yep.
right there.
Yep.
Two very different issues. And I just thought, okay, there it is right there in a nutshell.
That's
You
it.
know, that's it right there. It's like we're going to allow everything and then we're going to see what happens. Oh, did the public not like that? Then we're going to reel that back.
Yes.
It's literally like they're testing to see what our tolerance level is. I'm not getting that mentality.
Okay, so here's a question. So they're smarter than they like let on to, of course, in so many ways. And Sam Altman's like, "Aw shucks" thing kind of drives me nuts. But when they launched Five, they
Mhm.
knew that people were going to be upset. They could not have been surprised, at least not entirely. I don't know if this is like conspiracy theory or not, but it seems like releasing Five got them the backlash that they needed to say, oh, you want fewer guardrails so that you can get the conversation and the erotica and all that stuff that you want? Okay, well, the people have spoken. The people have spoken, so now we need to create another kind, another whatever. What do we want to call it? It's another
I
model.
don't recall my upsetness with Five equating I want porn.
Right, exactly.
Is that a leap or is that just
That
me?
feels like that's a little bit of a leap.
Me saying I don't want my responses dictated to me by robotic means does not equal, oh, please allow porn.
Yeah, for everyone.
Those are different requests.
Yeah, they're very different. It's like they brought a gun to a knife fight. The girlies want to be able to talk to their boyfriend on ChatGPT. That is not the same thing as let's have porn everywhere. I mean, I know it's already everywhere. I'm not an idiot, but I mean, this is not going to be healthy,
No, it's not, because who tends to be victimized,
right?
right?
It's going to be the
Who
children.
tends to be victimized? Who tends to be objectified? We have spent, it's interesting because I talked to so many women that have figured out how to get around the objectification, how to bring more real
Mhm.
into their work, how to keep a neck wrinkle and allow for diversity and allow for authentic body image generation. And now we're going backwards again because now we're going to let erotica come into it. It's a whole nother thing. People are going to have to learn how to work around.
It's totally creating even more of a market for this kind of content, which is always going to exploit women and children.
See, this is why I think it's interesting to me in that after a year of doing the podcast, working with you, which, by the way, if you're tuning in for the very first time, this lovely lady right here was my very first interview almost 1 year ago, exactly to the day. So we've spent this entire year working together, amplifying voices that are diverse, that have unique things to say, empowering women to jump into this space. And my learning from this moment in time is not that it was in vain, because I feel like not only have we given women platform, but what's going on right now is just highlighting why.
Yeah.
There's no moment to sit back on your laurels. There's no moment to think, oh my God, we did it.
No.
Well done. Gave women a platform, let them speak. 5 seasons. That's awesome. Just started.
Just started.
Because of this moment right here.
Yep.
Because of this. It's like, no, we just need to keep going.
Yep.
We need to keep going. We need to be louder,
Yep.
obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it's emboldening. So as I was thinking about our conversation today, I was going to ask you, like, do you think that this growth is as massive as I feel like it is? Like, what we've accomplished in such a very short period of time, and how certainly there have been some moments where we've grinded, like, no question, grinding is involved. But as far as decision making, it's all been under the what if it could be easy umbrella. Really, what we've been able to do is just pay attention and
Yeah.
notice.
Yes. I was literally just thinking about this morning because I was having one of those moments where it's like, am I following the path? And and I had this just very clear. I know I've talked to you about having side hustle that
Yeah.
doesn't fit. I've talked to you about
Yeah.
working in online spaces where I was trying to force a square peg into a round hole,
Yep.
trying to do all the things and create a business and watching myself burn out because I was forcing something.
Yeah.
This started out of pure curiosity.
Yeah.
Like what are people doing? What are people doing? Oh, look, there's a ton of guys talking about AI. All right, what kind of conversations are they having? Oh, hey, transactional. Okay, boring. Okay, finite. Okay, 10x.
Yeah.
Just
You hate 10x so
that's my
much.
trigger.
That's your trigger word.
Trigger. Just like in those three little spaces that 10x, that's the entire trigger about bro marketing, all right there in three tiny spaces. And it just and then it's like, okay, curious, do I leave this space too, or do I find better voices? And I found better voices. So that was okay. All right, I'm going to follow the better voices. Find the better voices. Wow, you are not getting nearly enough attention. How can I help be a part of that solution? Okay, podcast, part of that solution. Oh, look, there's another woman that wants to talk to me. Oh, look, there's another woman. Oh, look. And I'm just following the path.
Yes.
And it's grounded in genuine curiosity. What are you doing? Well, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What can I learn from what you're doing? How can I help other women learn from what you're doing? Every step that I've taken, there has not been one square peg going into one round hole. It has literally just moved forward. It's like, hey, we have a question. I wonder if there's a need for this. Well, let's ask some women. So
Yeah.
we do. And they doubly affirm there's a need. All right, boom, we fill that need. We are literally following a path and it is being affirmed over and over again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the difference. I
Right.
have never once felt like something was being forced.
Yeah.
In this entire path. And that's why I think when you look back, you're like, holy shit, it's only been a year.
The December 12th She Leads AI Forum, Leading in Uncertain Times. I think it was uncertain, leading in uncertain times. We did a couple earlier in the year, but the one after the election, the December 12th.
Oh, yes.
Right? Where people just showed up with a fire. And that was when it was like, you just felt the whooshing sound. All you had to do was just like open up the door so the whooshing could keep going, get out of the way. And what I loved about that was how organic it was and how easy it was to trust the process. I'm not pushing the boulder up the mountain right now and just hoping that someday gravity will stop being gravity and I'll be able to push the thing up a little bit more easily. Like, that's what running a business is like for lots of us, and certainly in the beginning, right? Like me when I first launched my business, and you when you were doing your side hustle, like, we're prepared for this like Sisyphean or whatever that word is, effort, and we're built for it too. Like we know how to do hard things, and it's been expected of us to do hard things. So if anything, throughout this process, it's been like, well, wait a second, isn't this supposed to be harder? If anything, I kind of question myself like, wait a second, wasn't I supposed to have to torture myself over a decision? Wasn't I supposed to have to poll 50 people
Mhm.
and get a coach? And not that there's anything against getting a coach, but get a coach and learn accounting and all this stuff, when in fact it was just like, oh yeah, this is pretty much going to happen with or without me. My job is to help shape it a little bit,
Mhm.
to put a business around it, to put some infrastructure in place and ensure that like it's protected. That's I mean, it's remarkable. And the pace I attribute in part to just AI, and AI is fast, and we're all used to being fast and being agile right now. But it's more than that, because I think it's where we are in history right now, and this opportunity for women to be unfettered. Like we've all been wanting to step into our power all these years, and it's been harder to do that. And
Yeah.
now it's wide open.
Yeah. I think it's a coupling of it's a perfect storm, if you will. You have this coupling of a tool that as you learn more and more about it, you
Mm.
recognize the possibility and the need for responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like this double path, it's running parallel. And you, as a woman, and I'm saying you to every person listening, calling
Mm-hmm.
out you,
Mm.
you are equipped to have that conversation, right? Because you are reflective, because you are wanting to see your own growth and reawaken your own possibility, and you want to do it with a vision, with a responsibleness, with an ethical lens. You have that drive, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And you're looking at this, and it's literally a perfect storm. It's coming together in the tools that you're seeing, in the people that you're meeting,
Yeah.
right? It's that like-mindedness. And when you find that, that's the thing that I thought was so amazing about Create. It's you touched on this earlier. It was that idea of, I came in with imposter syndrome, but I left with community, because you found all of those people that are running that parallel path right there with you.
Yeah.
You just didn't know.
Yeah.
And you met them and you were like, holy shit, sister from another mister, get
Yes.
over here. Let's have a conversation. What's
Yes.
it been like for you? What's it been like for you? And that's the thing where I love being a part of live and virtuals, because the podcast, I'm having that moment with a person and I'm
Mm.
seeing their path. I don't
Mm-hmm.
get to hear the audience's, oh, God, me too. I don't get to hear the audience's like, oh, why didn't I think of that? I don't
Yeah.
get to hear that. I get
Yeah.
to have the interaction, but I'm missing the reaction.
Ooh,
Whereas
yeah.
when you're in the virtuals, when you're in the lives, you get all of that. And that
Yep.
is an energy in and of itself.
It's a force.
It really made evident that wave. Cindy Kuhn keeps talking about the wave, right?
The
It's like
wave.
I felt it at the conference.
The moment where I like really let it sink in that this was the right thing was when I think it was at I think it was at the very, very end. And I gave the example of Penny Atkins, who runs the big responsible AI project. I think she has maybe there's a director, but she really is the driving force behind the responsible AI statewide project based in University of Utah,
Mhm.
that just got this $50 million grant. And she mentioned kind of offhandedly during the Power Hour panel that she felt intimidated coming into this space. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, we're so lucky that Penny Atkins would come spend part of a day with us. We're all so accustomed to feeling like someone else is, we're in the shadows of somebody else who, for whatever reason, has gone farther than us, has more accolades than us, has more, referee journal articles to their name, right? Penny has more referee journal articles than I do. But Penny hasn't started a women in AI movement called She Leads AI, right? She might look at me and go, wow, that's awesome. And I'm looking at her going, oh my God, what a goddess. And when I asked everybody who here was intimidated coming into the room, and everybody's hand shot up. And then I said, who here has made a connection that blew their mind? And everyone's hand went up. It was just like, okay, we did it. We can go home now if we need to. Like, that's the life-changing thing, is to shorten that time between dealing with the imposter syndrome and realizing that you're like home. This is where you're safe.
I love it.
Amazing.
How many moments can we create that make that happen?
A lot.
That's the thing. Exactly. It's like, that's what I left with. It's like, what is the sweet spot? How many times can we bring women together so they can feel their own power in a collective like that?
Yeah.
And then move forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it is super powerful, and I've loved watching the follow-ups just today. And then as we pay attention to what happens over the course of the year between now and the next Create conference, I believe we're going to see so many milestones. Like at the conference, I heard about things that were sparks for people that I haven't heard of, I hadn't known about, whether it was Festivus or a podcast, hearing an interview on yours or on ours, or something in passing. Somebody said to someone, somebody looked in ChatGPT and found out.
Blew me away. That was so cool.
Oh my God. So yes. So one of our attendees found out, she was like, how can I get smarter about AI this weekend? Beep bop boop, puts it into ChatGPT and it brings up our conference. So she's a pilot, so she gets in her plane and she flies on over to Salt Lake City.
Meanwhile, that's what you do.
As you do. Meanwhile, these two delightful students from Southern Utah University, they took a bus at the wee hours of the morning to get there, and Rachel Zipsey is in her RV driving across the country with her dogs. People were not going to let hell or high water get in the way once they decided to come. And there's not a person at home thinking, gosh, I wasted my time.
No. Oh my God. The feedback has been amazing. If anything, they're like, don't you dare grow this. Don't you dare.
Yes.
I was like, we have to exactly replicate this moment. They don't want a thing to change. And that was amazing to me.
Really, truly amazing. Michelle, what's the next year going to be like? What's happening? What are you going to do with the podcast next year?
Where I think that what you and I have planned around possibilities for women, for visibility, that is really what this is all about. You know how many women I've talked to? This is the first podcast they've ever been on. It's like, what? No way. I am going to continue that. And what I want to be able to do, here's what I want to do better, is I want to be able to give them more assets from the experience, right? I want the highlight reels, the clips, because all of that, it's like I do that, but it's a little bit more delayed than what I would like to do. It's a little bit more afterthought than what I would like to do. I spend so much energy focusing on the launch and getting them, zeroed in. Oh, look, here you go. This is your asset. And I get that, but I want to add more because I want women to be able to revisit it. I want them to be able to say, here's a highlight reel of what I talked about. Here's a 30-second clip that they can put on their socials to help. You know what I mean? Like I want it to be a little bit more
Yeah.
around their visibility because I think that would help. I want to continue with the academy because I think that's the absolute backbone to this, like you mentioned, because we need more women in this space having conversations around responsibility, around the ethical choices that we're making, around the reality. What is this boots on ground for women right now leading this movement? What is it? What does it look like? What does it look like this? What does it look like for you? What does it look like for her? What does it look like for her? And I think that by having women leading those conversations as the AI educators, as the
Yeah.
consultants, as
Mm-hmm.
your speaker, as your presenter, I
Mm-hmm.
think that it is really on us to make sure that we are giving them more and more and more opportunities to do that because we need them in more rooms.
Yeah.
And I think we are voices that can speak about these women in the rooms that they're not yet in.
Yeah.
So that's for the podcast, I think I'm gonna kick off the next phase of the podcast in 2026
Okay.
and give myself the rest of 2025 to put ducks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing another AI educator cohort
Yep.
in November. That's going to be, God, the interest in that. Again, like you said, it's just you follow the path and letting them be those voices in the room and supporting them in doing that, connecting with women on that global scale, making sure that we're amplifying not just one type of person, making sure we're amplifying a diverse collection of women's voices and empowering them. I think 2026 is just I want to get on a treadmill and practice the running because I feel like it's literally going to be nonstop because of all the opportunities we've got to put these women just out there.
Yep.
Let's hear from you in
Yeah.
all of our different forms, rather it be as a speaker, rather it be as an author, rather it be as a podcast guest or a live presenter or a consultant. I think that we owe the world, I
Yeah.
think, a better perspective than say
Yep.
just one-sided.
Yeah. Yep. I'm so proud of the way you have and just admire the way that you have, I know you launched your podcast at Today O'Clock one day a year ago. And there are a million different things that you could have added on along the way. Let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that. A podcast is a never ending to do list of ways to do more and better and, this and that. And it's also a heck of a lot of work just to get something out the door, period, regardless of the quality, regardless of the thread that you're weaving across all of your interviews, regardless of do you have branding? Do you, like it took us, I don't know, I think we were at like 20 episodes before we even had our podcast on on Apple Podcast. Like,
Oh,
you know, but you found a formula that worked and you rinsed and repeated and were able to interview how many women? 58?
78.
Oh, geez, 78. I knew there was an 8. 78 women. Michelle, that is an incredible body of work.
Isn't that just, I mean, that one blows my mind. And
Let's just acknowledge that's a podcast every couple of days.
we 2 episodes, we went up to 2 episodes a week and it stayed 2 episodes a week right until here we are, the end of season 5. So yeah, it's been God bless Descript.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
God bless Captivate FM for putting
Yeah.
it out there. And I gotta tell you, I mean, it's the women
Yeah.
It's the women that have come forward. Those are the tools. Those tools are great, but it is the women. They are amazing. They are incredibly generous with what they know. They are incredibly generous with, hey, please reach out to me, ask me anything, connect
Yeah.
with me. It has been absolutely incredible. And that has been, I keep saying I feel so spoiled because like I'm learning from every single woman. I used to say I had a situation when I was teaching, like when Christ was a child. I had this class that I had to repeat this class every single quarter. And so I got to, as a brand new teacher, start and end 4 times in 1 year. It was fantastic because by the second time, it was like, oh, that's everything I screwed up.
Uh-huh.
Right? And I think about women who are going it alone, right? Like we talked about these women walking these paths, and it wasn't until they showed up at an event that they were like, oh my God, you too, you too, you too. And I feel like that with the podcast. It's like I am the luckiest person in the world because I'm not just doing this 4 times. I did this 78 times. I learned from 78 different women about what's possible, about what their mistakes were, about what it looked like for them to dive into AI, what it looked like for them to leave their careers, to take a leap of faith on themselves, what it looked like for them to start completely over from a layoff.
Yes.
I got to learn from 78 of them. It's like if I could give anybody like an intro to AI, it's like,
Just listen
go
to all
listen
these
to, oh my
podcasts.
God,
Yes. I was just
binge.
going to ask you that. If somebody
Yeah.
sat down and they listened to 78 of Empowered by AI podcast episodes, at the end of that, would they not have completed like a PhD program in what it's really like to use AI in the real
Sure.
actual world and how it can change lives and change companies and change communities?
Yeah, absolutely. Bring the popcorn. It's
Bring the
like you
popcorn.
are front row seat to all the good, the bad, the ugly, the best of what we can do, the pitfalls that we can avoid. It's a master class
It
in
really
what it's like
is.
for women to go through AI. And that's why I'm like, somebody asked me, are you done? It's a year, right? Are you
Mm.
done? Are you good? And I was like, oh my God, I'm just getting started. This
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Because I can't help but feel a little selfish, to be honest with you. It's a little selfish. I'm learning. Go ahead, spill the tea. Tell me. So it's been incredible. And it brought me you.
It brought me you. Your show brought me you. And
Do
you
you know how I
me.
found you?
How?
I want to say somebody at She Is AI said, "Oh, you really need to look up Anne Murphy." Anne Murphy was on her radar, and I can't remember who it was right now. But I started Googling and I found one of your putting on my makeup while I'm talking to you YouTube moments. And I was like, oh, now I'm obsessed because she's doing the thing. She's getting ready
She's
and
51
she's
years old.
talking AI.
She's doing a get ready with me talking about AI. This is quirky.
I'm like, I am now obsessed. I think I actually even commented under the YouTube video. Okay, now following you and obsessed.
Well, and when you reached out to me, part of your question was, do you think there are other women in AI who might want to be on my podcast? Question
Right?
mark. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try this thing. I'm hoping I can get, a handful.
Mhm.
And then the dam went wide open, and we found out that there are thousands of us. And then you really start to wonder how hard people are trying when they say they can't find women in AI.
Swear.
Because we can't
Freaking Google it.
Google it, literally. So I wanted to tell you that we were talking about we have spent a fair amount of thought and energy and work on operations to come up with ways to ensure that we platform as many women as possible per year. So you're cranking away 78 episodes a year. We're, doing 2 speakers every weekend, right? Times
Yeah.
52. We're doing what, like 12, 13 for each of our forums. We
Yeah.
did around 22 for Create. We'll have another 10 or so for Festivus. Then we've got our member jams. Then we've got our lives, and we've got, my and Kyle's podcast. So when you take both of these bodies of work together, we're platforming hundreds of women, many of whom have never shared their point of view with the world in such a public way. Some of whom certainly have a whole bunch and are here to inspire the rest of us. And now it's like, we can't, at least for me, I can't imagine not being able to find a woman speaker. And
Thank
so
you.
we get
Exactly.
right. So we get back from the conference, and I'm like going through my DMs this morning, and I have a DM from this guy who says, essentially, can you send your membership to our conference? And I'm like, this must be something pretty novel, pretty progressive. That's pretty awesome. He's reaching out to women about his conference. He's an event organizer. So I go on, and sure enough, it's 7 white guys. And so I said to him, we are really, really intentional about platforming women. And of course, that's the kind of thing that we like to support in the future. If you need introductions, I'm not sure what the obstacle is here, but you can do a quick, like, it'll take you 1 minute search on LinkedIn and find these people. You put just a couple of keywords in there, you're going to find some women in AI in your area. So it's interesting how over time our perspective has changed. What I expect from the world has changed. What I will tolerate has changed. What I will participate in. It is so easy to say no to those opportunities now, where I look and I see, why I'm the only female and everybody's white.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
have a new environment. And I think that's what I cherish so much right now, is that we've created a new ecosystem for women to come into, to heal from their corporate residual, to step into the power that they always thought they could have, to find new ways, find areas of strength that they didn't recognize as strength until another woman saw it in her.
Mm-hmm.
And this
Mm-hmm.
is like what we do all the time. And so I hope that people who participate in, whether it's, speaking with us or the Certified AI Educator Program or joining the society or joining Social Saturday, I hope it helps them recalibrate the spaces that they want to be in.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Recognize what you don't have to tolerate anymore.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And that somebody asked me a question the other day, and it was like such a cool process to be able to answer the question. It was about how has leading She Leads AI changed the way I show up. And
Mm.
I hope that everybody affiliated with us has even a sliver of this. But what I realized is that when I show up in spaces, I feel that I'm not alone. I feel that I'm surrounded by all of the community. I know that I'm representing, whether, even if it's just me, Ann Murphy, over here on the side, I represent a really important movement, and that what I say matter. I understand that words matter more than I ever have before, but I also borrow the confidence of all those women kind of bundled into one little moment, is the confidence that I can borrow from hundreds of women who have been here before, and that I just feel safe. I feel like surrounded by that positivity and safety wherever I go. And
Mhm.
if people leave Create, or they leave a She Leads AI, or they leave an Empowered by AI podcast, and they feel that even a sliver of that sense of like safety and having somebody get your back, that's all I could ask for.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I left with also is that there were some taboos for women that were broken by
Oh,
you're like,
tell me
what
about the
rules?
taboos that were broken.
We talked about monetizing.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about earning. We talked about worth. We talked about value. And I heard somebody would inevitably say, sorry, but, and it was like, oh
Oh,
no.
no.
And no matter who said it, that woman, as soon as that sorry, but came out, there were 5 other women going, oh no, you don't apologize for wanting to make money. Oh no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no,
Yes,
no, no.
yes, yes.
And it was so just shared
Mm-hmm.
that everybody saw it. They recognized that is a taboo for women
Yeah.
to want to make the money because they're afraid that it'll make them sound transactional. They're afraid
Yep.
it will make them sound too selfish or
Yeah.
whatever. But it's that idea of you need to make money.
Yeah.
One, because you need to sustain yourself.
Yeah.
We are not just filled up with best wishes and generosity. Yes, that's a part of it. We
Yeah.
are also sustained through financial freedom
Yes.
and financial comfort as opposed to financial insecurity. And recognizing that through money comes voice, power, influence. And sometimes it puts you in places that other people are not familiar with. We need more women making that money. And that was one of the things from the conference. I think that huge kudos are due to you because you are a huge advocate for that. Women should get paid.
They should get
That
paid.
comes through in every moment I have ever worked with you.
Oh,
Whether it be sheer honesty about when someone can be paid, when they can be given value through another means, or rather it is straight up, here's an honorarium, here's a dollar bill amount. It is rather you're out in front advocating for your membership. I have never seen you let that conversation slip. And I was so thrilled when I saw those taboos being broken throughout the different rooms of the
yeah.
conference.
Yeah. Thank you. That's a huge compliment.
That it has to happen. It
It
has to
has
happen.
to happen.
Because I've watched you advocate time and time again. It's like, okay, how do we find value then? How are we going to do this? Because women will give until they break.
While we were at the conference, this organization I'm loosely affiliated with was they were emailing me and saying, "Can you come give this talk for our clients?" And here's the title of it. They'd already decided on the title of it, date, time, title, all this. So maybe I was their second choice, I'm guessing. Or if I want to be generous, maybe they just had a moment where they had to publish the things that were going on all year, and it was a safe title anyway. But he's emailing me and he's saying, "Can you come give this talk?" And it's a day that I'm already on the road, so typically that I have to like really be careful about what I commit to on days I'm on the road because I typically end up in like some broom closet in like a Holiday Inn right next to like the breakfast buffet
In
trying
the
to
ice machine.
right next to the ice machine. Like, so I really want to be, and even that would be like a good case scenario. So I'm like, I'm listening. And so he says, yeah, there's going to be 50 to 100 people here. You might maybe get a client from this. And I was like, you know what? I've been down this path before. So I wrote back to him and I was like, that sounds interesting. What do you pay for an engagement like this? Because without an actual contract, that's not visibility. I'm not cultivating. I'm actually working for you for free. So this is something that I would consider you're paying me for the work that I'm doing because I'm not on any other contract. I don't see a client that's coming through the door to work for me. And he went away and he, so-called talked to his management, and he comes back and he said, no, it's our policy to not pay speakers because of the visibility that we're giving you. And because we feature you on LinkedIn. Of course, I go over and their things are just awful. They're getting like one thumbs up. And I'm
I was
like,
wondering about when he said it's 50 to 100 people. Okay, that's
50 to 100
lovely.
people, that's worth it. Like
But
typically
wait a
I would,
minute.
like, I'm listening, right? But so I say to him, I say, so, that's what I would consider I'm working for you. I'm promoting your company. And the minimum for that is $2,500. So he comes back and he says what he says. And I came back and I said, we're kind of going back a little bit of a tennis match, but I don't want to leave this alone because I want them to understand the next person that comes around that this is a topic that they should consider. Like I need to raise it because I'm a white woman with all sorts of privileges. And if I am not going to work for free, then maybe they're going to stop asking other people to work for free. Maybe they will want to have more diverse voices. So the point is, I said to him, that door swings both ways. You want me to work for visibility, right? And yet you want me to give you visibility. I'm just not falling for that trap anymore. And I agree, and we've talked about this a bunch with our like AI educators. Like, there's a time and place for taking a pro bono gig. Do not get me wrong. There are some. When the Sierra Club asked me to speak for free, yes. Greenpeace,
Right.
yes. I'm going to. But
A
we're in a
teachers union wants you to
conversation.
speak for free. I'm there. Yeah.
Right, exactly. You're like, it brings me joy. It fills my cup. It puts me in front of people that I want to be affiliated with. I don't have a set goal of getting a contract with this company anytime soon. I'm doing this because I have decided it's worth it for me, not because the economics work for it. You can't pay me enough in some of those situations. It's not about being paid. It's about making an impact. But impact doesn't pay the bills. And so for the women we are surrounded with, when we ask for money, when we ask for what we're worth, it means that they can follow us and ask for what they're worth. When the yous and the me's of the world run around accepting, nothing, accepting free, we set the women up who are coming behind us to also have to work for free. Somebody at the conference mentioned that they had heard me say something like that in a TikTok, and that helped them stop in their tracks when they were thinking about taking an unpaid gig from a client that has the capacity to pay them. And I was like, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. I think that if I was going to sum up between the podcast, between She Leads, between your podcast with Kyle, the AI Readiness podcast, between AI Festivus, between our events, it's we recognize your worth and we want you to recognize it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna give you a platform, we're gonna give you a space, fill it as widely as you can.
Yeah.
And let people see you and know your worth.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's everything. That's everything. Because if you do, then you're going to keep talking and you're
Yep.
going to keep getting in those rooms.
Yeah. Not to mention that all of these women are in the top 1%, if maybe even like 0.001% of people in the world and their expertise in AI, let alone people process and culture. These skills are extremely rare, unique, very well honed. In even the women who consider themselves beginners who are running, massive AI projects at their places, at their workplaces. And the beauty of it is that we're kind of getting paid to be in an apprenticeship right now. Like I was saying, I try to only have one big AI client at a time right now because I'm learning so much on the job that when I have two that overlap, my brain melts. And so I decided, like, just energetically, I need to like kind of do one big one at a time, and just it's all moving so fast and I have to stop and I have to relearn stuff right in the middle of it. But when we get to the other side of the adoption curve, where more and more people and businesses have adopted it, and everyone, quote unquote, everyone, right, is looking for that raft that Cindy talks about. We're there on the raft waiting for people. We've skated to where the puck is going. We've done the hard work. Our businesses are in order. Like right now with She Leads, even just the tiny team that we are, we're set to scale. We're set to take on a few hundred more members if they came in the door overnight. If you and I didn't add a single thing to the AI Academy, we would have what we need to serve a massive cohort of women.
Yeah.
We're ready for it. And the world it's just, again, back to that, we're just saying yes, right? The world is kind of coming to our doorstep. I'm so excited about what 2026 is going to bring.
I know. It's going to be amazing. Everything from foundations to consultant
Yes.
to build your business, to
Yes.
build your speaking platform, to
Yes.
come and find your sisterhood.
Yes.
All there.
It's all there. Yeah, I think that the with growth comes a center of gravity. With growth comes access to additional rooms that we're not in right now, access to partnerships. Growth for the sake of growth, meh. I don't,
Eh,
meh,
meh.
like,
Yeah.
meh. I mean, that's what you see with people saying, oh, we have 150,000 members. You're like, no, you don't. No, you don't have
Yeah.
150,000 members. I don't want that. I don't want that to be part of what we need to do. I don't want that ugliness, the graspiness. I want to attract. I don't want to chase. I think it behooves all of us, if you and I are out here attracting, not chasing. I think it's important for folks to see us doing business that way, authentically, honestly. We're not tech broing it up. Come no matter what. I am not tech broing it up. I'm not telling half truths. I'm not here posturing. And that's
You're
the
not
difference.
promising X in a day.
Not promising. Oh, not come to my webinar and you will. We will not comment on what
In
you will
90
get.
minutes, you're gonna get magic.
It'll be super magic. So please, 150,000 people sign up for my webinar. Not going to do that. Not going to do that. We're going to be here authentically. Like by the end of the Create conference, we knew pretty much everyone. Everyone knew everyone. Beautiful.
So amazing.
Yeah.
It was so amazing.
I was going to tell you, I meant to say about a taboo that we noticed that got kind of overcome. And it seems small, but it's really not. So, as opposed to another conference where there is posturing, one of the neat things about Create was that we had incredible food. And I don't know if you noticed or that this was part of your journey, but we were just piling our plates up, just mountains, just macaroni and
Swear
cheese.
to God. What did Danielle say? Don't bring your Spanx.
Don't bring your Spanx. Like you and I were both like wearing our stretchy pants the last day.
Hell yeah.
And the freedom that demonstrates as women are socialized here in North America for sure to be small. That was when I first started crying, when I talked about, who did we want to be before the world told us to be small versus us standing in our power, comfortable in our bodies, eating whatever the hell we want to eat for as much as we want to eat. And by the way, yum, more power
Oh,
to us. I wish we were
so
always like
good.
that. But
Oh my
without
God.
but without guys around, without posturing around, it just enabled us to have like a full body sense of freedom and
Hmm.
safety. And I just
Hmm.
thought, if you were a scientist and you could study like the ounces per plate per capita at at the Create conference versus any other conference, I'm telling you, we ate more food than the average because we were free and we were safe. And we've been talking about this. When you and I first started our journey together in AI, we were pretty focused on the benefits of AI and how important it is for women to be using these tools to every possible advantage. And we weren't talking quite as much about the intersectionality of AI and race and gender and power and politics and geopolitics. Like, we weren't really on that grind yet,
Hmm.
but we shifted. There was a point in time where I feel like something changed inside us. For me, it was when we read Rachel Adams' book, The New
Empire of AI.
The Empire of AI. That was when things shifted for me. Do you remember a shift, or did you notice a shift?
The election,
The election. Yeah. Yeah.
hands down.
Yeah.
That to me was, I mean, I don't even care what your politics are. I don't even care who you voted for. That for me was a moment where I was like, oh yeah, no, my voice is gonna have to get louder.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to make sure that every voice in the room gets heard.
Yep.
And that's why I say it's not about politics. I think it's definitely about gender.
Yeah.
It's not about politics. It is about gender. It is about understanding now more than ever that there are certain things you do not take for granted,
Yeah.
that you are going to have to put voices in those rooms. You are
That's
going
right.
to have to make something happen. Whereas before that, I think I was a little bit living in just naive sense that certain things could not break.
Yes. There you
And
go.
now I don't think anything is sacred anymore. I don't think
Mm-mm.
anything is unbreakable anymore. And I feel much more, is called to action the right word? Maybe the right phrase. Like, if I want something to happen, I'm going to have to make the space for it to happen in.
Yes. Yeah.
I did not feel like that previously. I felt like there
Right.
were certain things that would just be a given.
Yeah. Yep.
I
Yep.
really did.
Mm-hmm.
And I no longer feel that way. And
Nope.
that has shifted everything
Yeah.
for
Yep.
me
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. It's one thing to be a good person, quote unquote, and
Mhm.
to lean in a little bit toward, to bend the moral arc as a
Mhm.
little bit. And then there's doing things really differently. There's doing things you don't know how to do. There's doing things that could potentially be embarrassing, that could backfire, that, but that you have to try.
Mhm.
And we're fortunate to have people in She Leads AI who, when we lose our bearings, which happens to me a lot, like I am a work in progress. I know that I'm going to put my foot in my mouth. I know that I'm going to inadvertently hurt someone. I'm trying to avoid that. But I won't stay quiet or inert because I'm afraid of making a mistake. And so that's why I say we're so fortunate to have people around us who we can thought partner with without judgment. Think about Trudy Armand, and think about Marcia Noreen Weldon, and think about Sunday Williams, women who will, without judgment, help steer us, in the right direction. And that has helped me, I think, make the kind of decisions that I hoped I would make when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, I wanted to be somebody who made decisions. I didn't have words for it or anything like that. But that's what I thought of myself, was that I would be able to make the kind of decisions and influence the powers that be in a way that would serve the currently least served people, right? The marginalized people, because I always knew that, like, if the marginalized people were safe, that the rest of us that we'd all be safe, that we could all have joy. And it's just been a real honor to have the kind of women around us who can help us on that journey. And you saw, I sent you today an image of a conference where it was for many reasons, I'm sure, they didn't make as intentional of an effort to have diversity in the room. And what you end up with is just a bunch of white ladies. For us, and can you imagine, the discussion is so different there. I've been in those rooms. You and I have been in those rooms probably most of our lives, right? Been at that actual place where I showed you the pictures, and that's actually what I experienced. This time around, we get to rewrite the way it works. And I will say that it is like, it's not easy, and it's not like some hero or something like that it is, but I'm like putting the things into practice that I've always had a hunch was the right thing to do, the right move. It feels good to be able to do that at this moment in time with the shit that we have going on in our country. It feels good.
It feels good to create the environment that you want to be in.
Yeah. My daughter was really my daughter. So for listeners, my daughter was at the conference with us, and her life has changed forever.
I told the room we've ruined her. This was her first conference. The standard has been set, people.
Yeah, she's screwed. She's never going to like another conference the rest of her life.
Did she have takeaways that she shared with you?
Yeah, and in fact, she just posted on LinkedIn. One of the things that is a big deal for her is that her friends, her generation, they're very anti-AI. They're looking at it through a particular lens, and she's bringing back to them the conversations that she had with Chef Kelly about big food, that she had with Vanessa Chang about what is intelligence, Danielle LaFleur, like these rock star women who are coming in with 20, 30, 40 years of subject matter expertise, and they're taking AI, Chris Houston, right? Taking AI and like turning things on their head. And she's going, this is a new way of looking at the world. This is an advantage that I have now that I didn't have before this conference, because I didn't realize that I could, the advantage that I could take of this technology. So she's now able to go back to her friends and give them that kind of feedback. Hey, what about this? It's not all bad. Yes, it's bad. It's bad. There's a lot bad about it, about all the things that the kids care about, for sure. But it's not all bad. And then she was just obviously like smitten by the role models in the room, just like to a person. Who wouldn't want to be any of these women? Ali Casiano. I mean, who would listen to her and not be like, I want to be like Ali when I grow up?
Swear.
That woman could move mountains.
Yes, she
literally,
can.
with her voice.
And has.
And has. Yeah. So my daughter, turning 21 in a few days, she's in the presence of all these phenomenal women, and she's like, wow, I know what my mom has been talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big year. You did a thing. You did a big thing. We did a thing.
We did a thing.
Imagine
We
a
did a
year from
thing.
now.
Here's to keeping the needle moving.
Here's to keeping the needle moving. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you for tuning in to Empowered by AI. If today's episode sparked ideas, don't wait. Follow the link in the show notes to visit innovativeaistudio.com and download your free resource, created to help you put today's insights into practice. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes packed with more tips, tools, and inspiring stories. Until next time, stay empowered and keep innovating.